Your car payment hits tonight. $730 gone before you even wake up. That's the average new car payment in America right now. Not a luxury car, not a sports car, a regular vehicle to get to work, and you'll make that payment for 6 or 7 years straight. But here's what nobody told you. That car is worth less every single month you own it. You're paying more and more for something worth less and less, and by the time you're done, you'll do it all over again. Most people don't think of their car as a trap. You think of it as freedom. You need it to get to work. You need it to pick up your kids. You need it to survive. And that's exactly why the system works so well, because you'll always say yes to the payment. According to Experian, the average loan term for a new car is now 68 months. That's almost 6 years. And the average used car loan, 72 months. 6 full years paying for a car that already had miles on it. The total amount Americans owe on car loans right now is $1. 6 trillion. That's trillion with a T. More than credit card debt. More than student loan debt was a decade ago. And here's the part that should make you uncomfortable. About 16% of people with car loans are spending more than $1,000 a month just on the car payment, not insurance, not gas, not repairs, just the loan. That's $12,000 a year going to a machine that loses value every single day. Here's how the trap actually works. The moment you drive a new car off the lot, it loses about 20% of its value. That's not a guess. That's data from automotive research firms. A $40,000 car is worth about $32,000 the second you pull onto the street. You just lost $8,000 in the time it took to drive home. After 1 year, it drops another 15%. Now it's worth about $27,000. But you still owe close to $38,000 on the loan. That gap between what you owe and what it's worth, that's called being underwater. And according to Edmunds, about 23% of people trading in their car right now are underwater. They owe more than the car is worth. So what happens when you want a new car? The dealership doesn't make that debt disappear. They roll it into your next loan. You're now paying for a car you don't even own anymore, on top of the new one. That's how a $40,000 car turns into $48,000 or $50,000 in total debt. And the cycle never ends because you never start from zero. You start from negative every single time. The interest rate makes this worse. The average new car loan interest rate is about 6.8% right now. But if your credit score is below 620, you could be looking at 12% or higher. Some people are paying 18% to 24% interest on a depreciating asset. That's credit card rates on a car. Now let's run the real numbers on what your car is actually costing you. The average car payment right now is $730 a month for new. Used is about $530. Let's use $600 as a middle ground since most people are somewhere in between. $600 a month, $7,200 a year, just the payment. Now add full coverage insurance because the lender requires it. That's about $2,400 a year on average. Gas. Call it $2,000 a year if you have a normal commute. Maintenance and repairs, about $1,200 a year once the warranty ends. Registration, taxes, inspection, another $500. Add it all up. Your car costs you roughly $13,300 per year. That's $1,108 every single month just to own and operate a vehicle. Now here's where it gets heavy. The average American starts driving at 18 and works until about 65. That's 47 years. If you have a car payment for even 30 of those years, which is conservative, you pay $216,000 in car payments alone. Take out the extras, just the loan payments. $600 a month for 30 years is $216,000 going to banks and finance companies. But let's be generous and say you're only in a car loan for 20 years of your life. Some people pay cash sometimes. Some people go a few years without a payment. Even at 20 years, that's $144,000. And the average, according to AAA and multiple financial studies, puts lifetime car payment spending for most Americans at over $115,000 at minimum. That's enough to buy a house outright in cities like Detroit, Cleveland, Memphis, Birmingham, and dozens of other metro areas. You could have owned property free and clear. Instead, you paid for 5 or 6 cars that are all worth zero today. Now imagine if you took even half that money, $57,500, and invested it over 20 years at an average 8% return. You'd have roughly $131,000. That's one decision, one shift, and it changes everything about your financial future. This system is not an accident. Every part of it is designed to keep you paying. The dealership makes money on the sale, but they often make even more on the financing. Dealerships are allowed to mark up your interest rate. The bank might approve you at 5%. The dealer tells you 7.5%. That extra 2.5% goes right into their pocket. It's called a dealer reserve, and it's completely legal. Then there's the finance company. They want the longest loan term possible. A 72-month loan at 7% on a $35,000 car means you pay about $8,000 in interest alone. They make $8,000 for doing nothing but waiting. The insurance company profits too. When you finance a car, you're required to carry full coverage. That costs $1,500 to $3,000 more per year than basic liability. And here's the part most people miss. The moment you drive off that lot with negative equity in a 6-year loan, you are locked in. You can't sell the car because you owe more than it's worth. You can't reduce your insurance because the lender won't allow it. You can't stop paying because they'll repossess it and destroy your credit. You're a guaranteed revenue stream for 6 years. And when those 6 years are up, the cycle resets because you need a car and they know it. The biggest objection you'll hear is this: you need a reliable car. And a cheap used car will just break down and cost you more. That sounds logical, but the data doesn't support it. According to Consumer Reports, many vehicles from brands known for reliability regularly last 200,000 miles or more. A well-maintained car with 80,000 miles on it has years of life left. The average American drives about 13,500 miles per year. That car could last you another 8 to 10 years with basic maintenance. And here's the real math. Even if you spend $2,000 a year on repairs for a paid-off car, that's $167 a month. Compare that to $730 a month for a new car payment plus higher insurance. You're saving over $500 a month driving the older car, even with repairs. So here's the plan. Step 1. Keep your current car for at least 2 more years after it's paid off. That's 2 years of zero car payments. Bank that $600 a month. Step 2. In those 2 years, you save $14,400. That's enough to buy a solid used car in cash, no loan, no interest, no dealer markup. Step 3. Take the $600 a month you used to spend on a car payment and put it into a high-yield savings account or an index fund. At 8% average returns, that $600 a month becomes over $110,000 in 10 years. You're not giving up transportation. You're giving up the trap. 2 people, same job, same income. $55,000 a year, same city, same bills, same starting point. Person A does what most people do. Every 5 years, they finance a new car. $35,000 loan at 7% for 72 months. Their payment is $600 a month. Over 10 years, that's 2 car loans. They pay $72,000 in total payments. Interest alone costs them about $16,000. After 10 years, person A has 2 cars that are together worth maybe $12,000 on a trade-in. They spent $72,000 to have $12,000 in value. Net loss, $60,000. Person B takes a different path. They drive their current car for 3 more years. It's not fancy. It's paid off. Then they buy a $10,000 car in cash. Solid, reliable, good mileage. They take that $600 a month they're not spending on car payments and they invest it. $600 a month at an average 8% return. After 10 years, person B has roughly $110,000 in investments. They still have a working car. They paid $10,000 total for transportation. Person A, negative $60,000. Person B, positive $110,000. That's a $170,000 gap. Same paycheck, same neighborhood, same grocery store. The only difference is what they understood about car loans. Nobody sat you down and explained this. Nobody showed you the math. You weren't bad with money. You were missing information that the system profits from hiding. But now you see it. A car is transportation. It's not a status symbol. It's not an investment. And it's definitely not worth $115,000 of your life. You're not someone who just signs whatever the dealership puts in front of you anymore. You're someone who knows the game, and knowing changes everything.